Hello everybody, welcome to Snyder's Inc. Hope you all had a great weekend. Let you all know I will be live on Wednesday. Won't be a reaction video, will be a live stream. I'm going to keep them going. But today we got some faction. We got 5 Mysterious Unsolved Cases, Part 3. It's Part 3. So, I think we all need to get into this. Are you guys ready? Of course you're ready. Let's go.
Five Mysterious Unsolved Cases, Part 3. On August 29, 2016, an Australian family of 5 decided to go on a technology-free, off-the-grid road trip.
I thought this was familiar, but I don't think it is now. Look at it.
Convinced that they were being pursued and needed to escape their home. For reasons unknown, married couple Mark and Jacoba Trump were convinced that someone was out to rob and kill them, and believed that they had to flee their Red Currant farm. They took with them their 3 adult children, aged 22, 25, and 29, and drove away in their gray Peugeot station wagon. They left their passports, credit cards, and cell phones behind, and when they discovered that their son Mitchell had brought a phone along on the trip, they made him throw it out the window as they were convinced it was being used as a tracking device.
What?
Each member of the family, over the course of 6 days, was found one by one. Mitchell was the first to leave the group after traveling all night with his family at around 7 a.m.
Don't blame him. He's the only one that brought his phone. He probably the only one that had sanity by the looks of it.
The next morning, he left the car as he was not convinced by the paranoid theories of the rest. Later that day, the 2 daughters of the group, Rihanna and Ella, also left their parents and stole a car and drove to the town of Goulburn, where they reported their parents as missing. The 2 sisters then decided to part ways as Ella wanted to go home and feed her horses, and Rihanna did not. Police found Ella once she arrived back at the family home. Shortly after, Mitchell also arrived back at the home. Rihanna was the last of the children to be discovered. She was mysteriously found in a catatonic state in the back of a stranger's vehicle.
What?
She did not know who or where she was. The next day, Jacoba, the mother of the family, was found aimlessly wandering in the town of Yass, 217 miles away from her last known location. It is unclear how she arrived there and at which point she left her husband. Jacoba was found in a delusional, agitated, and confused state. She and her daughter Rihanna were both taken into psychiatric care. As public interest grew, Mitchell and Ella were both interviewed on live TV, where they attempted to explain what had happened to their family and spoke about their missing father.
Can you shine any light on or perhaps explain why he may not want to be found?
Because he's scared that people are after him. He's not in a good state of mind.
And start off on this trip, I think it's just quite a confusing story.
It is very confusing. I still feel confused. I think our state of minds wasn't in the best place. And yeah,
it's hard to explain.
Really, yeah. There's no
bizarre,
one reason for it. It's, bizarre. Yeah.
Horrible explanation. I guess though, if you were in this weird mindset and you couldn't explain what was going on, I could see why you would not be able to explain it.
On the 6th day of the ordeal, Mark Trump was finally found near Wangaratta Airport after seemingly traveling over 900 miles in total and was taken to the local police station. He didn't appear to appreciate the media attention and offered the middle finger to photographers and reporters. Investigators can find no reason.
Yeah, what a nice way to treat the people who are worried about your safety. Jackass.
And why the family felt the need to flee from their home. No drugs were involved, and no previous history of mental illness has been discovered. Theories ranging from chemical poisoning to stress in the family to toxins in the water or even just a hoax have been put forward. Some are also suspecting that the bizarre incident could be a rare case of folie à plaisir, which in English is translated as the madness of many. This disorder can be responsible for close-knit families sharing a heightened delusion of paranoia or fear. Although this is only
Interesting. So tight-knit families, one person can have a delusion that will gradually make everyone else believe that delusion, and then everyone believes it. That could have happened actually, with the thought of them being tracked in that.
only speculation, and the real reason for their actions and their apparent need to escape is yet to be discovered.
People with ADHD save 10 hours studying with this Chrome extension. But no, by all means, go ahead.
On December 13, 2009, 30-year-old Stephen Kocher went missing from Henderson, Nevada. A clean-cut, well-respected church-going man, Stephen decided to take an unexplainable road trip from his home in the state of Utah to his final destination of Nevada. Stephen's car was found in a dead-end cul-de-sac, and he was shortly reported missing. Surveillance footage shows him parking his car, leaving it there, and walking out of the frame. In this footage, he is alone and appears to be walking as if he has a destination in mind.
Yeah, he does look like he has a destination. It's bizarre though why he traveled all the way from Utah all the way to that area just to park his vehicle at a cul-de-sac and walk away from it. That's really weird. Wonder why.
When his car was discovered, some of his belongings were still inside, including Christmas presents which he had purchased a few days prior, as well as blankets and pillows. Items missing from the car included Stephen's cell phone, wallet, passport, and driving license. For 2 days after his disappearance, his cell phone signal was picked up by a signal tower several miles from his car. It is unknown why Stephen was making cell phone calls near this tower, where exactly he was, and if it was indeed Stephen making these calls. His family are unsure why he left Utah, with no apparent cause for his disappearance other than some financial concerns. Some have speculated that Stephen may have gone to Nevada to look for a job, or to hand out flyers to advertise a window washing business. Stephen is a devout Mormon, and due to his religious beliefs, he does not drink alcohol or take any drugs. Suicide is not suspected, and no sign of foul play has ever been discovered. The case remains open and is still unsolved.
That's weird for the fact, yeah, because he doesn't drink alcohol, doesn't do drugs, but still randomly up and leaves Utah to go to Nevada. And if you go to Nevada to look for a job, that's a bad place to look because then you gotta go there every day. It's better to just stay in your area. But yeah, I don't know what his thought process is.
14-year-old Andrew Gosling went missing on September 14, 2007, and was last seen by his parents leaving home early for school. The teenager, who was described as a maths genius by his teacher,
Students going missing scare me because you don't know what's going on, so I have already a gut instinct on what happened here. We'll see.
was very intelligent and was into the goth scene. On the morning of his disappearance, instead of going to school,
One, who the bloody hell is that? But two, nice t-shirt.
Andrew returned to his
Also, hello Frankenstein.
home in Doncaster, England, knowing that his parents had left for work. He then changed out of his uniform, emptied his savings account of its £200 contents, and bought a one-way ticket to London. Andrew, when offered, refused to buy a round-trip ticket despite it costing only 50 pence more. This refusal would seem to imply that the 14-year-old never planned on returning.
What? So, hold on. So, he left. He's supposed to go to school. Didn't. Grabbed his money and bought a one-way ticket somewhere. With the goal to not return there. What? What was going on that made him leave like that?
An eyewitness on the train reported that Andrew was playing on his PSP console for the duration of the journey. Strangely, however, investigators later discovered that he did not take his PSP charger with him on the trip. This CCTV footage shows Andrew as he walked into London King's Cross station at around 11:20 a.m., over 150 miles from his hometown, and the last time he was seen alive. Andrew's family have no idea of his potential motive for traveling to London. There's been no subsequent sightings of him, and all search efforts have led to no results.
What is going on here? What is going on?
TV, radio, and internet campaigns also proving futile. His parents have since added money to his bank account in the hopes of detecting him, but this money has never been used or withdrawn. Many believe that Andrew may have traveled to London to make a fresh start. However, £100 was found untouched in his bedroom, which weakens that theory. Some have pointed out that
It's weird though they left it, because you hear, like, he didn't plan on coming back, so why would he leave it?
when freezing the security camera footage, a reflection of a man can be seen in the glass who appears to be looking in Andrew's direction. Was this person someone the schoolboy had planned on meeting?
In fairness, it's at a door in a bus station. I don't think that's much to go off of. Unless the moment that boy goes off screen, the guy leaves too. Unless that's the case, this is not much to go off of, because people meet people. This is at a bus station. A very public bus station. That is not much to go off of here. Sorry. I'm not saying it's not suspicious, because it might be. But I'm going to point out the perspective. There's a guy at a bus station might be waiting for someone to get off a bus. It might not have nothing to do with this boy.
Perhaps, most strangely of all, a few years after the teen went missing, a visitor to a police station claimed to have information on the case, but because the station was closed, this man was asked to return the following day. However, he never did. The search for Andrew continues.
Weird. Really, really, really weird. Oh, I know this one.
On August 9, 2013, 26-year-old Brandon Lawson went missing from his car on Highway 277 near Bronte, Texas.
This one's really weird. I'm not gonna say my comments till the end. I'm gonna let you guys hear this one.
Getting into an argument with his girlfriend, Brandon left his home just before midnight before calling his brother a short while later to report that he had run out of gas. When his brother arrived at the stated location, Brandon was no longer in his car. The vehicle had no damage, and his phone and keys were gone. In addition to calling his brother, Brandon also had contacted 911. In this mysterious and unclear phone call, Brandon breathlessly and fearfully asked the police to please hurry, and seemed to utter the words, "We're not talking to them." From this exchange, it's pretty safe to say Brandon was with someone else, but it is impossible to know who and what the statement meant. What is clear, however, is that he sounds very desperate and incredibly scared.
9/2013 0:50 and 38 seconds. 911 emergency.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. The safer just pushed some guys over. Right here going towards Gosling on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here and got taken to the woods. Please hurry.
Okay.
There's one guy, I just heard there's one car here got taken to the woods. I know I did that, but that's the first time I've been able to make that out and listen to a phone call. So I just wanted to bring that up. I heard that that's the first time I've actually heard that line in my head.
Now, run that by me.
I'm not talking to him. I actually ran into him.
Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
That's the first guy.
Do you need an ambulance?
Yeah, no, I need the cops.
Okay. Is anybody hurt? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Although Brandon's 911 call is very hard to understand, repeated listens seems to imply that some unidentified people were trying to take him into the woods, though this speculation cannot be confirmed. After arriving at the abandoned vehicle, Brandon's brother's girlfriend decided to give him a call and was told by Brandon that he was 10 minutes up the road, and mentioned that he was bleeding. This was the last time they ever heard from him. Brandon's family and friends are unable to guess what happened that night, and all speculation has been fruitless. The 29-year-old has 4 children and a girlfriend, and no apparent motive to run away. No trace of Brandon has since been found.
Get ready. This is gonna hurt.
What I'm gonna say, because I said I'd wait till the end, is I bet you there probably were people who took him into the woods and mid-phone call took him out. Why? Just because. Just because he was there and couldn't get away. That's my guess.
From June 12th to June 16th, 2009, a mysterious elderly man with a heavy Germanic accent visited the coastal town of Sligo in Ireland, where he spent his final days. The man checked himself into the Sligo City Hotel under the name Peter Bergman and paid for his stay in cash. On June 16th, the body of this enigmatic man was found on a beach under very mysterious circumstances. Investigators looked at all available CCTV footage in an attempt to work out what had happened to him. They noticed that when Bergman left the hotel each morning, he was carrying a disposable plastic bag. He would then return later in the day, seemingly without this bag. It is believed that he was gradually and carefully disposing of his personal belongings, though no evidence has ever been found. On the second morning of his stay,
It could just be also the fact just has his lunch in there, just bought himself a little lunch, and that's in it. We don't know for sure if that's the goal, what his goal was.
the man visited the local post office, where he purchased 8 postage stamps and airmail stickers. Presumably, this means that he sent out several letters in the post, most likely to friends and family, but this is only speculation. The CCTV footage assembled from the case shows a great deal of the man's comings and goings inside the hotel and around the town. However, no footage exists of the moments in which he disposed of the contents in his purple bag. Investigators believe that by meticulously and intentionally avoiding cameras during these key moments, the man was attempting to hide his actions and
I bet you this guy doesn't even know what the cameras are. Bet he has no idea.
decrease the chances of his disposed belongings ever being found. It is unknown why this man seemed so intent on permanently hiding his identity, though it is clear that this was very important to him. The real mystery began when the investigators uncovered that the name Peter Bergman was an alias, as there is no record of anyone in the same age bracket or description possessing this name anywhere. On his final day in Sligo, the man checked out of the hotel with his purple plastic bag and 2 more black bags. He then walked to the bus station, where he is spotted on CCTV carrying only 2 bags. The man goes inside the coffee shop and can be seen in the footage pulling out a piece of paper and reading it before tearing it up. He then took a bus to the beach of Ross's Point. Many witnesses saw him and reported that he was pacing up and down the beach and seemed to be behaving strangely. It is at this beach that his body was later found. Bizarrely, the mysterious man had removed all labels from his clothing and had...
It is possible he's an old man, right? So it is possible he knew his time was coming, and that's where he chose to end it. And he pretty much knew on that day it was going to happen. So he's acting strange because at any moment it could happen. That could be the reason. Reason hiding his belongings, if that's the case, could be he doesn't trust his family with his belongings. Doesn't trust them at all. Wants them to not even know where his stuff is. But then again, that doesn't mean that could be what's in the bag. There could be other stuff in the bag. I don't know. But you know.
Had no wallet, money, or any forms of identification on his person. An autopsy was performed and determined that there were no signs of foul play and no signs of saltwater drowning. Further examination showed that the man had extensive prostate cancer and numerous bone tumors. But despite his bad health, the toxicology report showed that there were no drugs, including painkillers, in his system, which meant he would have been in a significant amount of pain. The most accepted theory is that the man traveled to Ireland and decided to take his own life. However, despite further investigations, police are completely unable to discover who this man was, how he died, and the reasons for his mysterious actions.
I bet you he'd probably be easy to figure out, just no one wants to figure him out. No one wants you to know who he is. But ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this reaction. Hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment what you think down below. And I'll see you for the next one.